Some of those in the silver-haired community would say it's a great day for golf, and it is, don't get me wrong, but we say it's a great day for football, and the roof is wide open here in Glendale at State Farm Stadium. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the New York Giants and the Arizona Cardinals. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Now Jones. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. It's Bubba Bolden who puts it. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals. Badgley on for the extra point. And the Cardinals will win 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. They'll go to Barkley again. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Throwing, Jones. This one goes out wide for Barkley. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards and a Giant first down.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
A first down carry for Barkley. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Jones with a handoff to Barkley. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Caleb Farley. There he goes, right side. And they will score. It's a pick six for the Cardinals touchdown. Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. And it's good. And they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers. Jones has just thrown his 3rd interception. And the Cards are going to take possession of the football. Now, I'm not sure what the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
Now, think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
A first down carry for Henry. And they're knocking on the door now. There's a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender, and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, sometimes a thing of beauty.
Murray flips this forward on a jet sweep.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move it back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. That's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction. And that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them. And now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
And he's got it. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. And before this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's Michael Badgley ready for the field goal try. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Badgley able to punch this one through. And that'll make this 17-0. It's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there, all the things that have gone on. And the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And they will score. It's a pick six for the Cardinals touchdown. Badgley on for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll get it in the hands of Beckham. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
In it to win it.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Jones. Pressure comes and the Cardinals bring him down. Jeffrey Simmons has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. On 4th down, Jamie Gillen on to punt for the Giants. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. He'll take it at the 42. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10.
Omaha.
A handoff, running left, Henry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Play action. Now it's Murray. He'll get this complete to Rondale Moore. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And a nice call and really good execution there because they gave him a little bit of a different launch angle perhaps. You don't want to have the quarterback dropping back 5 to 7 steps on every play and have the defense zero in on it. There you hope that you get your defense going one way. They sent him the other, and they picked up nice yardage with that completion.
The throw over the middle, take it in. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Hey, hold on.
Inside handoff, Henry. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You're talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Here's Murray, a quick throw complete. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Here's Michael Badgley ready for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Badgley able to knock this one through. And a lead even further. It's 27-0 now. So more of the same here, CD. Not a touchdown, but 3 more points added on to their lead.
Yeah, it's been a total domination here in this first half. Offensively, defensively, even the special teams have chipped in as he connects on the field goal. It may be a little bit premature, but I think the only thing to worry about dominating now, the post-game meal.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and my goodness, another interception. And the Cardinals are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball-hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
On 2nd and 9, Murray. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure. And it's a loss of 6. I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. Badgley's kick is good. And that would extend their lead even further. Well, Charles, I think you have to call that a win for the defense after the turnover already in field goal range, and they had to settle for 3.
Yeah, being the beautiful part is you start so close to the end zone that your thought process on offense has to loosen up a little bit because you're thinking to yourself, you're almost guaranteed 3. Let's take some good shots at the end zone and try and turn it into 6.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well.
Especially the quarterback. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
That's complete to Slayton. So the completion gets him just a yard, and it's 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. A sneak with Jones. And he is going to have the Giants first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. That 4th down decision, unconventional but effective. And they indeed come up now with a 1st and 10, a fresh set of downs. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. 2-minute mark in this first half of action. The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And now here's another interception. Jalen Thompson picks it, and the Cards are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him, but you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on, but it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it up and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. So, Charles, you talk about this offense, how well they've played. I mean, the defense, too, really. But they're sitting at 10-0 now on the year. 4-0, 5-0, that's nice. But once you start hitting double digits with these wins and no losses, I think the seriousness of the situation, it just has to ramp up.
Yeah, and when you do say 10-0, it can't scare you as a team. Just think about it this way. For most of the year, they've been playing to win their division and get to the playoffs. Now the playoffs are just about a foregone conclusion. So now they have to down-focus their thoughts about getting home field advantage and finishing unbeaten, and they need to make sure they keep it in that order.
They'll try to run for it with Henry. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. J.K. Dobbins with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Cardinals are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing.
And my goodness, another interception. Jalen Thompson picks it, and the Cardinals will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, Charles, they're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, it might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Second half begins with a run by Henry. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. Able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 50 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll run it again with Henry. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
Here we go.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Ready.
Some extra space following the display of power. Down just inside the 45. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Running left, it's Henry. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards the pickup, good enough for an Arizona first. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes a defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
Sometimes I think cornerbacks can benefit from the fact that quarterbacks might just forget about the idea that they might be near the line of scrimmage. How about the anticipation there, sneaking in and making a big play in the backfield?
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Jones and the Giants now with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Up the middle with Barkley. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And all the way down to the 42. 59 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a...
Let's go now.
They keep it with Barkley on 1st down. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down. They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jones. And he wisely will throw that one away.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Barkley, inside handoff. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves him looking at a 4th down. Gano's kick is good, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And he will finally be taken down at the Giants' 11.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Henry up the middle. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. And they take a knee. And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear a people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they give up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really.
And now here is another interception. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles. They picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
So 2nd and goal, and the big man Henry alone in the backfield. And they'll indeed take a knee. There's a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ballgame.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Arizona, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the year. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Dallas Cowboys next week. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they've fallen out of things now as they sink to 3-8. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Buffalo Bills.